I want to talk about something that I'm very passionate about that I care about every year, and that is the NFL Hall of Fame class of 2026 early predictions. And to be honest with y'all, bro, the reason why I'm passionate about this, bro, because I feel like the last couple of years, I don't get what these Hall of Fame voters be thinking, man. And it started with me to 2022 class. And no disrespect to some of those guys on there, Leroy Butler, who I never heard of until that, and that's probably me. I have to do my education on that. That ain't him. That's probably me. Um, what's my boy Sam Mills? I watched the football life on him. Get to him in a minute. Bryant Young. I heard about Bryant Young. I knew about him being on that the front line, the front D line for the 49ers back in the day. Won a Super Bowl, the 49ers 90-95. I'm not gonna really get into some of the old school guys, you know what I'm saying? I really don't talk about the old school. A lot of times we shit on the old school guys, especially the 70s and the 80s. But just sticking on the guys I just mentioned, to be honest with you, bro, when you gotta realize they're finalists just like a Allen, a Jared Allen, a DeMarcus Ware, and just there's no world or nobody that really knows football will pick Bryant Young, Sam Mills over Jared Allen and DeMarcus Ware. Now, you want to put Richard Seymour in there because he won Super Bowls. I know we love doing that. Sometimes when you have these dynasties, you'll probably pick the best player. You know what I'm saying? You'll put a guy, even though he had a great career. You can say he had a great career. You'll make him a Hall of Fame just because the rings carry so much weight. We've seen that before. So I get why they put Richard Seymour in. So I'm not tripping off that. But there's no way I watched Sam Mills documentary. You watch that whole documentary, there was no point of it that they made it feel like he was a Hall of Famer. I felt like they did that just for sympathy. I just did that. Oh, the family. I don't. I just don't. It's just hard for me, and I want to talk to the president. And I really respect what they do, but they're just terrible, bro. They're just terrible. They just putting anybody in. And what's the criteria? Because there's no time where you're going to tell me that Bryant Young, who people barely know, is better than DeMarcus Ware and Jared Allen, who everybody knows. There's no way Jared Allen has to wait 2 years. There's no way that DeMarcus Ware is not a first ballot Hall of Famer. But you put Bryant Young in front of him. If I don't care that Bryant Young got in, he can get in, but he can't get in before Jared Allen and DeMarcus Ware. And that's what we've been seeing. DeMarcus Ware got to wait a year. Tony Gates got to wait a year. I just don't get this stuff. And the people you're putting in ahead of him is I'm scratching my head. It's a head scratcher. It's like, nah, I don't. There's no disrespect to none of those guys I'm talking about. Cliff Branch, how you Hall of Famer? Cause he can run fast. Bro. I'm telling you, like, I'm a NFL. I used to be I watch NFL Network all day. I remember the top 10 Raiders. I remember the speedsters. Cliff Branch was one of those. Nobody ever talked about him as a Hall of Famer. I don't get some of this stuff, bro. It's just now he a Hall of Famer now. But he was never talked about it when he played. But 20 years later, now he's worthy of one. So some of the time it's just like okay, we just gonna give it just to give it. And we gotta stop doing it. We gotta put guys in before other guys because impact matters. And so let's look at this list right here. Let me go to this list. See, can I find it? Find this list real quick. Here it is right here. I wanna slam my mama with some jerk. You see right here. Man, go with that, bro. Man. Mm-mm. See, bro, I hate when I do that, John. They always doing that. Hold on. No limit soldiers. No limit soldiers. I told you. Dang, everybody. Okay, here it is. It's like I got it on X. Hold on, let me see. Okay, here it is right here. And I'm just gonna give you my list of guys. And some of the guys not on this list. This is the modern era players. I'm about to poke. Hold on, I didn't put it up yet. Let me put it up. Hold on. Hold on. Let me. Which one is it? Okay, here it is right here. Let me zoom in. Let me zoom in. Oh. And it's the list right here. I don't think you can see. Y'all might not can see everything, but look, man, bear with me, bro. It's just the list. When you look at the list, you got the quarterbacks. So I'm gonna give you some of the names. You got Drew Brees, first ballot, first year eligible. Eli Manning, this is his second year. He didn't get in last year, his first year. Phillip Rivers, that's some of the quarterbacks. Running backs, we got Frank Gore, Marshawn Lynch, Shady McCoy, Lorenzo Neal, that's a fullback. Fred Taylor, Ricky Waters, some of the names. Wide receivers, the face of this group guys, Larry Fitzgerald, Steve Smith Sr., Torrey Holt, Jimmy Smith, Hines Ward, Reggie Wayne. Tight ends, you got Greg and Jason Witten, Greg Olsen, Jason Witten. Special teams, Gary Anderson, Adam Vinatieri, really the only guy I look at that's worthy. The rest of them, stop it. O lineman, we got Willie Anderson, Marquise Pouncey, Logan Mankins, Jahir Evans, who Marsha Yonda, who's a dog. Marsha Yonda's is a beast. I like him. Steve Winniski, D lineman, John Abraham. Shout out to him. Basically, Falcons' last great defensive player. Robert Mathis, Haloe Haynada, Simeon Rice, Vince Wilfork, the nose guard, and Kevin Williams. Linebackers, London Fetcher, James Harris, Luke Kuechly, and Terrell Suggs. That's a nice group. DBs, you got Sante Earl, Charles Tillman, Troy Vincent, Daryl Woodson, and Rodney Harrison. That's just some of the names right there. When you look at this list, last year they only put 4 guys in. They only put 4. They put Eric Allen, Jared Allen, Antonio Gates, and Sterling Sharp. This year, I think they did that just because people was complaining, and now they're gonna come out this year. This is my opinion. I think they're gonna put at least 6 guys in this year. I think last year everybody was complaining about they put too many people in. They put 4 in. Now everybody's saying you didn't put them. Oh, how you gonna do this? Now I think the president, he's just like, you know what, y'all, you can't please everybody. Let's just do 6 to 7 guys every year. People gonna complain. It is what it is. But if you look at some of the guys that's coming up, that's retiring, I don't mind it being 6, 7. The last couple of years, I did mind it because wasn't that many great players. But the next couple of years of the guys are going to be first time eligible. I respect the list. I respect the list because when I'm looking at Tom Brady's coming soon, J.J. Watt's coming soon, Big Ben's coming soon. So you got some guys that had some great careers that's coming soon, that's retired. Adrian Peterson. You know what I'm saying? So Earl Thomas, Richard Sherman, a lot of these guys, they're coming soon. So I'm not really tripping off of it. I appreciate it. So when I'm looking at this, my list. Number 1, first ballot. First, when we talk about just first ballot, the first 2 dudes, it's obvious 100% they're getting in. Because I think I like the list of the first eligible guys when Phillip, Frank, LaShawn, Larry, Greg, Jason, and Marquise. Out of those, what it is, 2, 4, 6. Out of those 8 names, I'm not gonna lie to you. It's the first 2 guys I think of off the dome was like I like when Skip Bayless say, "Are you a Hall of Famer?" It's just be yes. It's all you should think quickly is yes. Drew Brees and Larry Fitz out of this class the first time they're gonna represent and they're gonna headline this class. Drew Brees and Larry Fitzgerald are gonna headline this class this year, the 2026 class. Just like last year, you can say really if you want to be honest, last year Antonio Gates and Jared Allen they headline because they're the only 2 people really know that had really big impacts. People know about Sterling Sharp, but I'm just talking about my generation. Sterling Sharp last time he played was like in the early 90s, like 94, 95. And Eric Allen, last time he played was like early 2000s. So people didn't really get to see him. You can watch highlights and stuff of him, but you really didn't get to see him. Just like we saw Jared Allen and goddamn Antonio Gates. But I think Drew and Larry, like I said, it's gonna be 6 spots. I give that. Now, before we get to this, we got to get to the coach and contributors. Now, when it comes to that senior list, it's going to be at least 1 senior on there. And when I'm looking at it, let me go to my phone and find it. So I can just go on here because obviously I'm not logging to Facebook. So Facebook won't me to log in. I'm not doing all that. I can just find a list on my phone. Forget all that. I think they got the list on the phone too. So when we talk about contributors, I don't think no contributors getting in this year. Let me say that I don't think no contributor. Howard Corsair, I don't see none of these guys. They might put a guy in, but if they do, the guy I feel like Art Rooney Jr. Might well put him in, man. The Rooney family, all they do. Robert Kraft. Okay, if you're gonna put somebody, I can say Robert Kraft. So that's my third one. I say Robert Kraft. When it comes to the senior, I'm gonna do another senior. Like I said, it's gonna be six. One is gonna be a senior, one gonna be a contributor, one gonna be a coach, and you're gonna have three modern day guys. The list is gonna only be six. It's gonna be seven. We're gonna do four modern day. The rest is gonna be the other guys. Three gonna be that. Out of the senior category, mm, there's some good name. Roger Craig, the first guy, rush for 1,000, receive 1,000. You got LC Greenwood, one of the pioneers of the steel curtain, you know what I'm saying, led by the Mean Joe Green and Jim Marshall. But see, LC Greenwood and Jim Marshall, sometimes they get overshadowed because when you think about Minnesota Vikings defense, you think about Eller. Carl Eller. You think about Alan Page. You think about Paul Krause. Then fourth, you think about a Jim Marshall. But when you think about the Steelers, LC Green he get overshadowed because you think about Jack Lambert, Jack Ham, Mel Blunt, Donnie Shell. You know what I'm saying? Mean Joe Green. So you name about 5-6 guys before you even get to LC Green. But those two guys deserve it, in my opinion. They really do deserve it. But if I had to give a name, bro, give you my opinion, somebody feel like that truly deserve it, I'm gonna say Roger Craig. Roger Craig was going to be the senior, so that's my senior spot. I got my three. So I got my four guys. I got first ballot, Drew Brees and Larry. Then when you look at my contributor, Robert Kraft. Come on, 6 chips. Put that man in the Hall of Fame. 6 chips. He got more than Jerry Jones. You put Jerry Jones in, Robert Kraft, he got to be in too. Then when I look at my senior player, I'm going Roger Craig. He was a dog with the 49ers. You got to give it to him, bro. He's one of those pieces that helped the 49ers win 2 Super Bowls back in the 80s. Then when it comes to the coach, Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick, first ballot, put Bill in. Bill Belichick, I know he coach. Go ahead and put Bill Belichick in now. It's cool. Now, got 2 more. 2 more modern day guys. And when I look at the list, it sucks, man, because the writers, they do have a hard job of only putting 4 modern day guys in. You know what I'm saying? Putting 4. Because they've been doing 5, 7, 6 to 7 or 8 sometimes. I'm only going to do 7. When I look at the last 2, one guy that's a no-brainer that should have got in last year. They keep tripping me out on this, but it's cool. I would have put him over Eric Allen. No disrespect. Luke Kuechly. Luke Kuechly will be the third guy. He will be that third guy. And to close it out, a guy that I feel like very underrated and doesn't get the respect that he deserves, basically based on his size, his stature. And this guy's one of the greatest wide receivers of all time, in my opinion, that don't get his love. But I feel like it's going to be somebody in that room that vouches for him. And we're going to have at least 2. We're going to have 2 wide receivers make the Hall of Fame this year. And I'm going to keep a count of my list. Because I might be put too many people in. I might just put 4 guys in like they did last year, getting shock everybody and just say it is what's going to be hard to get in. But I think they're going to go back to 7, add 3 more, put 3 more pieces to that. And I'm going to go with Steve Smith Sr., man. I like Steve Smith Sr., bro. I feel like he's very underrated, bro. What Steve Smith Sr. accomplished at that size, bro, come on, a triple crown at 5'9", 5'8", that's incredible. And I think he don't get enough credit that he deserves. You know, so what he did for Carolina, bro, because he put Carolina on the map. He put Carolina and the Panthers on the map. When you thought about Carolina before Cam Newton got there, first thought, Steve Smith. So I feel like he's going to get rewarded this year. And my class, Pro Football Hall of Fame class of 2026 will be Drew Brees, Larry Fitzgerald, Robert Kraft, owner of the Patriots, Roger Craig, former player of the 49ers in the 80s. And to close it out, we will have Luke Kuechly, one of the greatest linebackers of all time, and the wide receiver that's very underrated and small but dangerous and hungry and gritty and just brought that energy that show it don't matter the size, I'm going to destroy you and demolish you, Steve Smith Sr. Ice up, ice up. So that's my list. If y'all disagree, let me know. But that's my list, bro. My 7. Like I said, Drew Brees, Larry Fitz, Robert Kraft, Roger Craig, Bill Belichick. My bad, Bill Belichick. And the last 2 modern era finalists, modern era players I'll put in is Luke Kuechly and that boy Steve Smith Sr. So that's my list. If you disagree, let me know. I'm gonna clip it up. If you agree, let me know. It is what it is. I'm not tripping. It's just my list based on my knowledge and who I think deserves it, who's worthy, who's more worthy of it. So that's it.